it's not actually you who's doing it. The God's controlling your feelings and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I think you're talking about the three modes of material nature. And what are they?
Yeah.
Wait. Ignorance, passion, and goodness. Ignorance, passion, and goodness.
Yes. And what are their Sanskrit names?
I don't know.
Sattva is goodness. Sattvic or sattva. Rajas or rajasic guna is passion. And tamas is darkness, right? Tamas. Yeah. So, or ignorance. The another meaning for tamas. So Sanskrit, every word has so many meanings. So that's so we need a good interpreter to tell us what to understand.
Can I add something?
Yes.
So it's like when your soul, we also talked about this, and then last class we talked about how, when a city needs a prison, so in that prison you need prison clothes, right? So the soul, it's like the soul is the body, and then we're wearing our clothes, but the soul, to the soul, the clothes is the body, and then it changes the clothes every lifetime. So these are like our prison clothes.
Yeah. And how many clothes can you wear? Like, what are the
8 million something?
Yeah,
84 million.
8,400,000.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, even Prabhuji?
Yes.
We have even learned that whenever so for goodness or karma, we're going to eat like vegetables and good things. Or no, I think it's music. Yeah, it must be music. So a good tune music, it'll give you a karma, and it'll give you fruits, vegetables, mostly plant diet. But then whenever you're in a rock and roll music or some type of bad music, you're going to be having the meat as food. And then whenever you're having a scary tune and you're living in that type of tune, you're going to eat scary, or you're going to eat disgusting food.
Yeah, right. That is the mode of ignorance. So music can be in mode of ignorance. Food can be mode of ignorance. Our thoughts can be in the three modes. So everything.
Yeah, even Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yes.
There's this woman who slapped a man for doing something bad.
Okay, right. So that, we discussed about instant karma and delayed karma. So whatever you do now can immediately have a reaction, or it can come after a lifetime or a little later. We discussed the example of the granary of a farmer, right? So he puts the grain on top, and he keeps, when you add karma on top,
Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I forgot to tell something. So sometimes, for this example, some plants can grow really very fast, and a coconut tree can't grow that fast. It'll take like 25 years or 24 years. Yeah. So it matters about like how fast it can happen or how slow it can happen.
Right.
Too.
So so very good points, everyone. So so that's what we learned, why bad things happen to good people. Okay, Meenakshi ji is raising her hand. Please go ahead, Meenakshi.
Prabhuji, I didn't understand what Asmita ji told. Can you?
So there were a few examples we took, right? So is it?
No, Asmita ji told that when we hear good songs, we are doing karma. That I didn't understand.
Okay, so everything has three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas, and based on that, we can classify anything we do in terms of the music we listen to. If it is very, very soothing music for our mind, that's making us in a very good mood, that is sattva gun. So music that makes you like dance and eat and just focus on material enjoyment is passion. It's, yeah. So, and then a music that's very scary and
makes you scared, makes you sad,
or very jarring and all that. Some people like very music that is not even coordinated, right? So, so such harmful music, you can say it's in the music of is in the mode of ignorance. But actually, all these three modes are almost like the same.
Prabhuji, can I add movies also in that? If
Sorry?
you,
yeah,
can
movies,
I add movies also?
Yeah, movies can also be in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So there are some good movies with good morals.
Yeah.
There are some good movies that make you
Feel
do
sad.
bad. Yeah, there are some movies that may say, okay, I have to jump and run and do this, motivates you to do something, something like make a lot of money or have many girlfriends or something like that, or many boyfriends. Yeah, and that then there is a movies that is scary and makes you sad, or that's so all of that can be classified. Everything can be classified into these three in this material world. But actually, what we need to do is all these three are binding. It's just like one is a gold chain, one is a silver chain, and one is an iron chain. So even if you're just doing goodness just to satisfy yourself, that is also a chain that will keep you in this material world. But you have to transcend, meaning you have to go above these three, and that is called Shuddha Sattva. We'll learn and or a karma.
Yeah, even
like
Prabhuji.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I forgot to mention that lawyers, they can't for example, Krishna, he chooses to punishment which matches whatever you're doing. For example, if you mistakenly robbed from a bank, or if you done it purposely, you need to suit out the punishment. So maybe you'll be sent to prison, or you might be doing something else. Plus, you can do how much goods in life and how much bad in life, or good karmas or bad karmas.
And so Nitin G has raised his hand for a long time, so please let's give him a chance.
Yeah.
Yes, Nitin Ji. Oh, did you have any points to say?
It was before when we were like reviewing the story, reviewing the previous story.
Yeah.
Does Meenakshi have a question?
Okay, thank you.
Do you have a question, Meenakshi?
So I think Meenakshi ji also said. So Ashmita ji, please continue. What are the points you wanted to add?
Plus, so the bad things we're having right now is, for example, if you just don't take care of yourself, your skin will be bad. And imagine if you're doing a wedding in the coronavirus and inviting many people. You don't know if they have coronavirus or not. So that can cause bad things in your life.
Yes.
Plus, there can be deaths. Or you can have deaths which is in a group or by yourself. What I meant about that is, for example, when there's this car and a person was in a car, and it mistakenly has crashed, and that one person died. So sometimes it can happen to one person, and then sometimes it can happen to many others.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, different types of action cause different reactions. So Ayana has a point. Yes.
So we also talked about the Titanic when everybody died, and then whoever got on there, most of the people died. Like a lot of people died on that ship. And then you told us one family, they were hoping and spending their money to get on the Titanic and ride it because they were planning their whole life, I think, to ride it. And then their daughter or their son got a bite by a dog or something. And then they were like, why? And then they were telling God, why did you make me miss this ship? And then when they heard that almost everybody died on the Titanic, then they were pleasing God. And then they were saying, thank you for saving our lives. And then
so all that is due to the karma of different people. Something good they did in the previous life.
I have another.
It's the reason that they were saved. Like God doesn't interfere with our karma, so we shouldn't be blaming God for anything happening. And now then people say, then why should I pray to God for good things? But we should use every opportunity to try and pray to God, because that's what we're going to learn today. When we actually bring God into our lives, all our karma, it gets destroyed. So we don't have
Wait,
to come back.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
what about the fire in the forest?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that story was like, there was a guy who owned a restaurant. In that restaurant, the guy said there was a lake next to the restaurant, so they could catch fish, and then they didn't even kill it, but they just fried it when it was alive. So that, just think about how much pain the poor fish had. And then a few days later, I think it was a few days later. So the restaurant guy was swimming in the lake. And then the helicopters, you know, those helicopters that suck up water to put out forest fires. So there was a forest fire like in the picture. And then while the man was in the lake, he sucked the man up too. The helicopter sucked the man up too, and then put it into the fire. And then it was like, he was like one of those fish. And then he died.
So he got the same suffering that
Prabhuji, he got burned alive and he was experienced the same pain that the fish one also went through.
Yeah.
So the conclusion of last chapter is,
Yeah, even Prabhuji,
yes.
Yeah.
gambling, sometimes whenever you're doing good games, it's good to do. But then, for example, if you're doing gambling, it's not good to do, it's bad. Since it has many bad things that you don't even want to do it all. But some people who dare to do it, they just do it.
Yes. And they waste their life because time will never come back. Because once you use it for something, you cannot use it for the right thing. And that's the end of your life.
But in the Mahabharata, Yudhishthira gambled, and then he should have went to He did that bad thing other than lying.
Right. He did not lie, but he was challenged to come and gamble.
Oh, and he didn't even know.
Yeah, he didn't want to go to gamble. Yeah. He was forced to go because he took a vow that he will follow his elders, whatever his elders.
Oh, yeah. So that also teaches us it's bad to vow.
Yeah. So yeah, you should always take vows to please Krishna, not to show that you are the most righteous.
Wait, so that's another bad thing you just did, I think.
No, again, we don't want to focus on anybody's bad. He only had good intentions, but we can learn from everybody and try to apply that in our lives. So let's start today's class. So this is the practical application of Gita in our lives. Okay. So what is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the manual for life. Just like all of us get a manual for if we buy a printer or even if you buy a Lego for you to play, you have instructions how to construct it, right? So if you throw away the book, you can never construct the Lego and make the good structure that is
Yeah,
totally.
I got a Lego. And then,
Right.
yeah.
So you have to follow this manual for life, that is Bhagavad Gita, because that's what the Lord said, how to follow
So
your
how
life.
doesn't this work?
Yeah. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, there's a verse that says, Manmana bhava matbhakto. He says that, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So how can one go back to the spiritual world? We came from the spiritual world. We are in this place of suffering and punishment. And how do we go back? Is by connecting back to Krishna and saying, Krishna, we depend on you. We don't want enjoyment, selfish enjoyment just for ourselves. We want to do everything that pleases
So
you.
we're
So
Krishna's very dear friend.
yeah, so so Krishna is impartially partial, in the sense he is impartial to everyone, but those who want to take the good friendship of Krishna, they will be helped by Krishna to go back, because many people they don't want to believe in God, or they don't want to do keep God in the center and surrender to the Lord for help. For those people, Krishna says, okay, you want to just be in this material world, so we'll all go through the sufferings of birth, death, old age, disease, and we never realize that there is a better place to be in, and
But we
connect to God.
realize.
Yeah, but we realize, but we have to keep doing it. Sometimes if we forget Krishna, we will fall into the trap of just focusing on money, or just focusing on just having parties, and
That's why we do
yeah.
these classes.
Yeah. So actually, guess what? You have all been practicing this bhakti yoga, because hearing is one of the limbs of bhakti. So all of you have been doing great to connect to Krishna, because what I'm saying is not what I thought about and mentioned, because everything is, the essence is coming from Bhagavad Gita as it is, and is coming in the disciplic succession. Yes, Ashmita ji, please.
So sometimes you don't want to go. So this is not like the thing that you're talking about, but then so there were two gatekeepers for Vishnu, and there were Jaya and Vijaya. And then there were the son of Kumaras, and then they cursed Jaya and Vijaya for not letting them go and be with Vishnu. And the curse is that they should live on earth and be humans.
Yes.
But then they don't actually want to be humans or monsters or anything on earth. They just want to stay with God.
Yeah. So
but then it was like, okay, be some demons and then live for 3 lives and come back to my kingdom again.
Yes. Very nice. Yes, that is Jay and Vijay, and all those are part of the Lord's eternal and very close associates. So if Jay and Vijay were actually serving God in Vaikuntha, right? So Krishna or Lord Vishnu incorporated them in his pastime, and that's one. So there are certain devotees who just want to be with Krishna in the spiritual world. There are others who just want to be with Krishna wherever he goes, even if it's to the hellish planets, they want to go there. So Jay and Vijay were so exalted that they wanted to be part of Krishna's pastime. They even wanted to take a role which is a negative role, right? So initially they were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Then there was Ravana and Kumbhakarna, they became. And then in the next slide, they became Shishupala and Dandavakra. So they wanted to finish off that pastime and then come back to Krishna. So yeah. So yes, so those are the eternal associates of the Lord, and they go with the Lord wherever they go, and they became a good opponent for the Lord, because the Lord wanted to show his chivalrous nature, how well he can fight and all of that. So they wanted to be part of that. So that's why they came. Anyways, that's off topic. So we'll discuss that some other time. But the main point today is, so we need to purify our thoughts, actions, and how we can do that is by connecting ourselves to God. And that's what yoga is. Yoga means to connect or join. Okay. So everybody thinks yoga is like exercise or do a meditation, but actually yoga means just to connect the jiva to the super soul or paramatma. So jivatma to paramatma. How can you reestablish the connection that we lost when we came to this material world? How can we reestablish and go back? That is yoga. And what is the best form of yoga is what we'll learn. And then Krishna says, whatever we think when we leave our body is what we become. So some people, they live their life like mostly not wearing much clothes and showing off their body. And the Lord says, oh, you really want to show your body? Why don't you become a tree? The tree doesn't have any clothes and you can always be outside. So similarly, so whatever consciousness you have at the time of death is very important, because that decides your next one of the 8.4 million bodies that you would get. But how would you think about Krishna when you're dying? Because you have to practice all your life, spending time like this, talking about Krishna, learning about Krishna, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So that you slowly practice that, and that is how you can prepare for the time when you leave your body.
What if someone accidentally shoots you, and then before you die, you just chant Hare Krishna, and then you die?
Yeah, so there's many example stories. There's a person called Ajamil. Yeah. So we'll discuss about that later. But the holy names are very powerful. If you utter the name, you will be saved. Okay.
I
so
keep on thinking what is gonna happen.
So we said Bhagavad Gita is a manual for life. So which version of Bhagavad Gita do we learn? You know, the Sanskrit is the same in all the versions of Bhagavad Gita. There are hundreds of versions, but how we interpret and who translated that is very important. So in ISKCON or in Bhakti Yoga, we follow Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who's coming in a disciplic succession, meaning it can, Prabhupada's guru is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Then there is Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj. And before that, there is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So if you trace back, you can finally reach Krishna. So that means disciplic succession. So that is what we need to follow. And it's not just from Prabhupada, right? Or there are 4 bona fide sampradayas. So the knowledge from Krishna about how to live your life and what is the real meaning of life, it has been imparted to four different schools. So one is the Lord Brahma school, or it's called Brahma Sampradaya. Then there is Lakshmi school of spirituality, that is the Sri Sampradaya. And Lord Shiva school, that is the Rudra Sampradaya. And the 4 Kumaras that we mentioned today, that's the Kumara Sampradaya. But the one that Prabhupada is in is the Lord Brahma's Sampradaya. So it's a Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So it comes down, and then finally we'll see a picture of, yes.
Is Bhagavad Gita book helpful for us?
Yes.
To study about all these things?
Yeah. So all the classes we had in these 7 sessions has been the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the main points. If you want to go deeper, you'll have to read the book and the purports given by Srila Prabhupada. And yeah, you can't do it at this time. It'll be difficult for you to read this entire thing and understand it. You can slowly understand, learn some verses, read once a day, a little bit, and so slowly you would start increasing your knowledge. So yes, it is helpful for everybody. Everybody above 5 years.
Even atheists?
Yeah, even atheists will be helped. Just a scientist, Albert Einstein, he was a great fan of Bhagavad Gita because
Wait, what?
yeah, because no other book gives him the knowledge of the soul, and he knows he works in the material realm, but the knowledge about the spiritual realm is given in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So Albert Einstein has said that Bhagavad Gita gives him a lot of peace. So even great scientists, they come to the Bhagavad Gita. And this slide is just showing that Srila Prabhupada, my guru's guru, is actually coming in a disciplic succession that can be traced back to Krishna. So we should always learn from a sampradaya, like one of these sampradayas, who gets the knowledge in a right way. You can't just go to a Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street and say, what do you think about the Gita I learned from you? You should always ask or learn from a right school. Just like you all are going to school, right? You follow a syllabus. You don't just go randomly or syllabi. And when you go to college, you go to a reputed college. You don't go to a guy on the street and say, hey, give me a degree for engineering or medicine. You go to a good school that has been teaching this for many years, has a lot of experience. So similarly, to learn about God and spirituality, you should always follow
the to the next one.
Okay.
You know that bottom row of the pictures? We used to have those pictures, but we might go there.
Yeah, we have one here. Okay, so in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about many yoga systems. Okay, so the main part, there are 6 chapters describing Bhakti Yoga, and so my question for you is, have you all eaten a sandwich before?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are the different kinds of sandwich you have eaten?
Cheese sandwich?
Yeah. Cheese sandwich, vegetable sandwich. Some of you eat chicken sandwich, meat sandwich. So yeah, did anybody eat a bread sandwich?
Yeah.
No, nobody says bread sandwich, right? Because bread does not define the sandwich. What is in between defines the sandwich. So similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, what the middle 6 chapters Krishna describes about Bhakti Yoga. The first 6 chapters mostly about Karma Yoga. Last 6 chapters about Jnana Yoga. But Krishna has very intelligently placed the Bhakti Yoga in the middle. And he says Bhakti Yoga is the topmost yoga system. So that is what we are learning here. So if you go to any other lines of sampradayas, or many people have interpreted the Gita in many ways. Some focus on Ashtanga Yoga, the yoga of meditation, following like pranayam and all those things. So out of all those, Krishna says, and especially in the Kali Yuga, Bhakti Yoga is the best. So we are very fortunate to learn this from this wonderful sampradaya that Srila Prabhupada is coming from.
I see pictures in the middle.
So out of all the yoga system, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost, and Krishna says that. So Karma Yoga is just doing activities just to get the results. You may say that, oh, I'm not attached to the results. I'm just going to do a lot of work, not for myself, but for others. And there may be a God. I will leave it to the God. for the results. So that's karma yoga. And then there is jnana yoga, where people, through knowledge, they just go and read many books and try to understand about different aspects. That's jnana yoga. Then there's ashtanga yoga. There is like meditating, and so that's slightly higher than jnana yoga. And the best yoga is bhakti yoga that we are following here. It's like an elevator, because instead of taking the stairs to the top, we are just actually what we are following here is taking the elevator directly to the top. But a person in karma yoga, slowly he'll purify himself, and then he'll come to the stage of jnana yoga. Then he have to purify himself and then be in a meditation. And then finally he'll understand, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. I was just focusing on the energy or the light. I was just focusing on that. But the topmost realization is bhakti yoga. Okay. So following bhakti yoga, there are 9 ways of following bhakti yoga. And you have all been following the first 2, Shravanam and Kirtanam. You have been hearing and you have been talking and discussing. So every time you're coming here, you have been following bhakti. So how easy is it to follow bhakti yoga? But if you have to go to the forest and focus on the light in your forehead and do many asanas, it's very difficult. It's not practical in Kali Yuga. So the best process right now is Smaranam. Yeah. Shravanam, Kirtam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam. So these are the 9 processes.
I think I remember all of this.
Okay. So out of the different ways, there are 4 yugas, right? And they keep cycling around. First comes Satya Yuga, then comes Treta Yuga, then comes Dwapara Yuga, then Kali Yuga. Then again the cycle repeats, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga. So then in Satya Yuga, the best way was doing a lot of penance, because everybody was pure. There was not such distractions and quarrel and hypocrisy at that time. So everybody were able to do big penances and understand the Lord. So the Yuga Dharma, or the process to follow in that Yuga, was meditation.
Yuga is the best Yuga?
No, the easiest Yuga to follow, understand Lord, is Kali Yuga. Because all you need to do is hearing and chanting, right? And chanting is the easiest way to purify yourself. So all of you, if you have beads, you should start chanting at least 1 round every day. Like myself, since I have taken a vow to chant 16.
You took a vow?
Yeah, to chant 16 rounds a day. So that'll take about 2 hours. But to start, all of you can just there are beads, like 108 beads. All you need to do is start from the first bead. Don't use your index finger, because that's used for pointing, saying that I, me, mine, or it's pointing, you are a bad person, you are this, you are that. So we don't use the index finger. You use your middle finger and your thumb, and you start from
the first bead. So
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shiva Deva Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So you keep going all the way around, praying on each bead. You say 1 Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You keep going round and round, round and round. Ultimately, you'll reach back to the Krishna bead here, right? And then you, if it's the first time you're doing this, you can stop. Or if you want to increase your rounds, you won't cross Krishna, but you would go back the way you came, and you
think of all these beads as all the 108 gopis.
Prabhuji, how many hours do it take to pray, chant for 16 rounds.
Oh, 2 hours.
Yeah. So about 4 rounds is like a half hour, right? So you can break it up morning, evening, night, and then afternoon.
Wait, 4 hours?
Four.
No, 8 hours. I mean,
No.
eight rounds is like half hour because.
No, 8 hours is 1 hour, so 16 hours is 2 hours. 16 rounds is 2 hours. Okay. So again, yeah. So it's up to you. Like this is the Yuga Dharma, right? Kali Yuga. So if you chant the names of God of Lord in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra,
But you don't ever think of Krishna when you do.
we'll have to. That's the best way to chant.
But you don't. I always keep on telling you.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
used to chant rounds, I was like, think of Krishna.
Okay.
And then you were never.
So let's complete this class.
8:43.
Yes. Yes. So let's quickly complete some of these slides. I may not have time to go through all these slides. So Jnana is just knowledge, but Vijnana is realized knowledge. So all that we have been learning, we have to put to practice. Otherwise, it's like you bought a train ticket and you didn't get into the train, right? So how do you put to practice is by making some transformation in your life slowly. So best way is if you eat meat, or you're drinking alcohol, or you're chasing a lot of other gender, you don't have to change any of that right now because it'll be difficult. All you need to do is to take the japa and start chanting, and let Krishna slowly remove those desires from your heart. Because it's very difficult to stop something that you have been practicing for many
But
years.
I
So,
can stop eating chicken easily.
yeah, right. Okay. So everybody are different places in their journey. So we shouldn't be saying, oh, you eat this, you eat that. No, all you need to do is you just need to come together and discuss about Krishna, and then let Krishna take care of what the next step in your spiritual journey is. But most important thing is associating like we are doing now in a regular way, so that we can slowly purify ourselves. Okay. So Krishna spoke to, why did Krishna speak to Arjuna and not a person who is in Himalayas doing a penance? Because he wanted to show that Bhagavad Gita is meant for all of us. See, Arjuna is a family man. He has a family, he has a wife, he has kids, he has work. And so Bhagavad Gita is meant for all of us, not just for the yogis or the sannyasis. So that's what we learned from that. And then Krishna spoke to Arjuna. Does that mean that it was only meant for Arjuna? No, it was meant for.
He spoke to Arjuna since he was one of the Krishna's devotees, but then he spoke to him to teach us all, and then like since we put it in the Bhagavad Gita as it is, now everyone can know, and then
So it's like you can just think about Arjuna asks a lot of questions in Bhagavad Gita and Krishna answers him, right? So you can think about Arjuna like an interviewer. If you see the TV host, they are interviewing different doctors every week and giving us knowledge about coronavirus, or they talk about cancer, they talk about thyroid problems. So they might talk, but it doesn't mean that the interviewer has all these diseases. He's asking these questions on our behalf so that we learn. So we have to take this, all these wonderful messages from Bhagavad Gita and incorporate that in our life. Okay, so spiritual life, some people say, oh, it's a retirement program, only old people should follow. No, we should all take a small step to improve our spiritual life. We cannot, like a person who say, I'll just do it when I'm old. But then when they're old, they don't have time for that. They would be watching serials and on TV, or they're always watching TV. So you have to start at a young age so that you'll have a way to focus it even while you're old. Okay. And why was Gita spoken on the battlefield? Because that is a very, very important time in our life. It's very important. So Arjuna could have said, no, this is time to fight. I have to fight. I can't wait right now. But this message is more important than even any fights or issues we have in our lives.
What about the 5 senses?
Yeah, we have discussed that's part of our body, right? The 5 senses. So we don't have Krishna physically present next to us to guide us, so we have to get guidance from the Bhagavad Gita, which is coming in the Parampara. The translations are coming from a right guru. We discussed about Sampradaya, Samyat Pradayate iti Sampradaya. So a Sampradaya means that's giving us the complete knowledge from Krishna and not inventing anything or from our own guesswork. So whatever I'm saying, I've heard. It's not like I'm inventing anything here, right? So we discussed about the 4 sampradayas, main gurus in each sampradaya. So again, what is the proof that we are hearing? Everybody might say, I am the right sampradaya. But is it actually transforming people? Are they making bad people into good people? You know, Srila Prabhupada, he came to the US and many people were taking drugs, were on the street. But all of them, he purified them and all of them became great devotees.
He was the only one who, he was the only,
yeah. So that is the magic of the sampradaya, the right sampradaya. If you choose, it'll have the right effect. But if you're hearing from the wrong person, they might be taking you the wrong way, and so you have to look at the result. If somebody is following this sampradaya, are they doing better or worse? And anybody who follows this are only becoming better. Okay. And one important thing to understand is this, like what we have in our mind and our thinking is all material consciousness. So we all have a disease of material conditioning. And in order to cure that disease, we have to diagnose that disease, that we are thinking we are the body.
But what if that, you know, you talked about that, the medicine.
Yeah. So
like if it's the wrong medicine.
Yeah. So this is the right medicine is Harinama, or what we said, the chanting of the holy names of the Lord to purify ourselves. And so, okay. So who is a guru? We know he has all good qualities. We don't have time to go through all that. And so the most important thing is how we spend our time. Who do we spend our time with? So it doesn't matter whatever you're doing or where you're starting your journey.
One-eyed guru?
Yeah, so television is a one-eyed guru because depending on what you're watching in television, you get conditioned. Like if you watch, so all the movies that show you that to chase the opposite gender or to make a lot of money or show off, all that you learn from the movies and on the TV. So television is like a one-eyed guru. So you should be very careful what you spend your time with. If you got to watch, if you're watching good things on television, it's better. But otherwise, the television is like a one-eyed guru. He says, because everybody is stuck to the television nowadays, and actually not even television, now everybody's on the internet. And so in the internet, what they watch is very important. And so associating with the wrong technology and the wrong programs on TV will take you to a bad result. So it's better to associate like what we are doing now, where we learn about the right things to do. Okay. So that's, I think we will conclude our class here and go to the Kahoot because we only have 8 minutes.
Wait, Akshay, where is your phone?
Yeah. So, okay.
You put a picture of Krishna on it.
Okay, so that is the point.
Are we going to the Kahoot?
Yes.
Wait, do you have even the Kahoot app on it on your phone?
So congratulations, everybody. You completed the 7-session course on journey of self-discovery.
Acha, how do you turn off the, turn off the video? Wait, is it working?
Can you all see the screen? The pin is 1947585.
Wait, you have the Kahoot app now?
I don't know what this is.
You have to sign in.
Nobody has joined yet.
Chaitra Radha joined.
Oh, welcome.
Prabhuji, what is the game pin?
Yeah, it's 194.
1947585. Yay!
Okay, good karma is in. Very good. Ishwarji is in. Kanti is in. Chaitra ji is in.
My feet are very warm. Yay!
Rihanna is in with Rose.
Huh?
We are using the ones.
Oh.
You're joining the meeting.
Acha, can you? Oof, my... Yay! Okay, good. Meenakchi's in, Ishwar's in, Good Karma's in, and I'm in. And everybody, me and my dad came in late today because he got a new computer because the other computer its battery was expanding, and then you were worried about it exploding.
So, Ayana, what
Prabhuji, so what can we learn from this lesson? What can we learn? What is the summary of this lesson?
the summary is ABCD. ABCD in the sense A is for associating with devotees. What do you need to do in your life? How can you apply all that
What
you
is
learned?
B?
B is books like Bhagavad Gita.
C is communicating.
C is chanting the holy names of the Lord. And D is deity worship. So when you go to the
Or you
temple,
could be being devotees.
yeah. So this lesson today was all about what should we do with all we learned.
Hemant, Tarun, Meenakshi, Ayana, Vishwa, Good Karma. Okay.
Okay, should we wait any longer?
Wait,
Anybody?
there are 8 participants and 6 in the... No, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's go ahead and start. Hare Krishna. Good luck, everyone. So, practice.
Pause the video.
First question, what is the meaning of yoga?
The true
Join, exercise, wealth, health.
wealth, health. That's nice.
Yes. So yoga means to bind or to link back to or join. Like in India, there's an ad called for Fevicol. Fevicol joins anything. So you have to use yoga to join us back to the Lord.
Okay.
Okay. Good karma. Ishvara.
Yay!
What is the best form of yoga according to Krishna? Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga,
This is
Bhakti
an
Yoga.
easy one. Like really.
So, for a person who gives us the manual, we have to learn from him.
Yeah.
Right? The
And
inventor
then
knows the best.
you yourself said Bhakti Yoga is the best.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Krishna is saying.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay. What is realized knowledge put into practice called Jnana, Vijnana, Kriya, Karma? Yes, Vijnana. So Jnana is just knowledge. Vijnana is realized knowledge that you act upon. Because
I got Vijnana.
if you just collect knowledge in your brain,
Prabhuji, I didn't understand this question.
Yeah, it is just, what is the term used for realized knowledge?
Mostly, a lot of people got it wrong since it's hard.
Yeah.
But I just guessed in it.
Kriya and karma are actions, not knowledge. Jnana, Vijnana. Those are the two terms.
Yay!
Okay. Okay. Who should we hear from to get spiritual knowledge? From a guru parampara, disciplic succession, from a material scientist, learn in human experimentation, from any Tom, Dick, or Harry,
From any Tom, Dick,
from
what?
a relative who has learned from experience. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, there's 7?
Yeah. So Guru Parampara is the best to learn spiritual knowledge. Even if our relatives, they might tell us different things based on their experience of life, but are they coming from Krishna? That's the most important thing to understand.
It should be coming
Is-
from Krishna.
Yeah.
Yay, sure.
Okay. What parampara does Srila Prabhupada come in? Brahma Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya.
Well, I guess that would be great. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun,
Yes,
dun,
very
dun,
nice.
dun.
And Sri Sampradaya is Lakshmi Sampradaya. It's usually found in South India and Tamil Nadu. And the tilak they put is slightly different. You'll find a red lion in the middle. So they are more about like serving the Lord with a lot of respect, and they have a lot of practices that way.
Wait, is Srila Prabhupada's way better? Brahma's way?
No, all these are bona fide paramparas.
But what is the best one?
Yeah. Since I am following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's parampara, I would say that is the best.
Wait,
And-
which one? Which one is it?
Brahma Sampradaya.
Ah.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go. Next.
Okay. What is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga? Penance, sacrifice, elaborate temple worship, chanting holy names.
Dun, 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 dun. Actually, look, this is a face. These are the
Yes,
eyebrows.
very
these
good.
are the
Most of you
eyes,
got that
And
right.
this is the mustache, and this is the mouth.
I am a focus on class. Which one is a way to practice bhakti? Hearing, chanting, all of the above, none of the above.
You put one.
Oh, all of you got it right. So that means I'm winning.
No.
The first
You
time.
only got one right.
Yeah.
This one you only
Yeah.
got right.
So I only got one right, but I'm happy with the one. That's the most important lesson.
Yay.
Okay, what is bhakti? Yoga of love for God, yoga of becoming God, yoga of learning about God, yoga of doing good actions.
I think I'm going to choose my best answer. I don't know.
Okay. Bhakti is the yoga of love. Not love between a man and a woman, but
No.
love between the Jiva and Paramatma, or us and God.
Us and God. Us and God.
So how can one express love for God? Serving God, hearing about God, acting to please God, all of the above.
You put a period. You never put a period. It's
Doesn't
okay.
matter.
It's okay. All of the above. Period.
Oh, everybody got it. Yay.
Okay, you got two right.
Yes, yes. Yes. Okay. Why did Krishna narrate Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? For only Arjuna to become better, for all of us to live our life well, for showing off Krishna's knowledge, for delaying.
Krishna never shows off, okay? This
Yeah.
thing. It's sunny.
Yay. So someone got only Arjuna. So we mentioned, right? So Krishna talked to Arjuna all these for our all benefit also. So not only for Arjuna.
Prabhuji, actually Bhagavad Gita influence our life. We have to learn many lessons from Bhagavad Gita. So
Yeah.
that makes all of us.
Yes, very nice. Dash is part of love for God. Bhakta, Bhagavan, Bhakti, all of the above. So all of the above is the right answer because, you know, love for God, Bhakti means just love for God. Just love, just learning about love is not enough, right? You need a Bhakta, that is you. And then you need Bhagavan, that's Krishna.
Who got all of the above?
And Bhakti is the one.
Who did all of the above?
And Bhakti is the one connecting Bhagavan and Bhakta. So all three are important.
Above? Who clicked all of the above? Tell me.
There's one person who did it.
Yeah, who did it?
That person, we will not find out here. Okay.
I guess nothing's changing.
Okay. So 12th question. Do we have the disease of material conditioning? So everybody in the material world, why did we come here? Because all of us have. Yay! Another one for the quiz master. All of you got it right. Very good.
Three right. I took out three.
So first of all, the thing is to understand there is a disease of not knowing that we are the soul, that we are just this body. So that is material conditioning. And first of all, understanding we have a disease can only let us cure the disease, right? So all of you have.
Oh, what happened? Oh,
so all of you have understood that there is a disease going on, just like COVID, most of the world was having it. Everybody in the material world has this disease of material conditioning. And only if we know there is a disease, we can cure it. So if a person is sleeping, we can wake up that person. If the person is acting like he's sleeping, we can't wake that person up because however much you beat him, he'll just act like he's sleeping. So if we act as if we don't have a problem, then we'll never cure this problem of material conditioning. So all of you got it right. I'm so happy. Okay. Ishwarji is in first place, Ayana second, Good Karma, Tarunji, Chaitraji next. Okay. 13. What is the most important first step to progress in bhakti? Stop eating meat, stop watching movies, stop drinking alcohol, associate with devotees. What is the most important first step?
The most important first step is very easy.
Yeah. So, yeah, everybody got it right. Yes. It's
Four for you.
Yes. So it doesn't matter where you are. You know, there's an example of Mrigari. Anybody heard Mrigari story? Mrigari used to half kill animals.
Yeah, so he
he was very fortunate to get the association of Narada Muni. And Narada Muni, being a great devotee, said, you know what you have to do? Just fully kill the animals.
Fully?
Yeah. So if anybody hears, you say, what? Narada Muni is telling to kill animals? How can you do that?
But to see them suffer is worse than...
Yeah, to partially kill is worse than fully kill animals, right?
Because to seeing them suffer, he was laughing.
So similarly, when you have right devotee association, no matter what condition you are in now, it will slowly get purified. So all you have to do is to get in good company. Because even, you know, in English, there's a saying, to tell me who you are, just show me your friends. So if you have good friends, you will become good. But if you have bad friends, you'll get into bad. So always watch who you make friends with, who you spend your time with. Are you spending time with a one-eyed guru?
One-eyed guru. Oh, yeah. Actually, go to the next question.
Okay. All right. Ishwar, Ayana ji, Good Karma ji, Tarun ji, Chaitra ji, all are doing well. What is the best charity in this world? So it transforms one heart by giving message of Krishna. Give wealth, giving a house, giving a car. Oh yeah, all of you got this right. So this is one of the big questions that most people have. Like, what is the best charity in the world? Some people say, why don't you build an orphanage? Why don't you spend time feeding the poor? But the best thing you can give somebody is to change their mind so that they won't commit any sins, right? So once you give somebody Krishna's message, then they will slowly withdraw from all the bad things. So there wouldn't be any need for orphanage because nobody's having any illegitimate kids. There wouldn't be any need for hunger because everybody, if they have Krishna in their heart, they will share everything. They will make sure everybody's happy. In the temple, everybody's given prasad. So that is the most important thing.
What is the best diet for us?
So meat, vegetables, Krishna prasadam, all of the above. Yes, so Krishna prasadam is the best.
Don't go without me. Wait.
Best diet, because prasadam purifies us. So even if you just eat vegetables, that's not the best product. It's just mode of goodness. And this meat is mode of ignorance. But prasadam is higher than any of the modes. It's akarma, because you're offering first to Krishna and eating the remnants of that. So that means you're getting purified spiritually. So that's the best mode. Meat and vegetable, that's all. If you don't offer to Krishna, that's not going to purify you spiritually. So if somebody asks you what is the best thing to do, being a vegetarian, non-vegetarian, carnivore, best is to become a prasaditarian. So whenever you get a chance, eat prasadam. What you do is just once your parents cook some vegetable. What do you offer Krishna, right? Krishna says anything, in Bhagavad Gita,
but not meat or anything with eggs or onions.
Yeah, that's because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna what he wants to get. He says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Thoyam. So Patra means leaves, Pushpam is flower, Phalam is fruit, or Thoyam is water. So if any of these you give out of love, he will accept it.
Just plain water he would like. Oh, I remembered one story. His wife gave him the banana peeling, and then she was so focused in Krishna, she gave him the banana peel, and then
that's Vidura's wife. Yes. Okay. So don't always click all of the above, because one of them click that. Okay. Good. Okay. Second last question. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? An ordinary person, a social reformer in history, Krishna who came to teach us how to be a devotee, none of the above. Yay! Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
You
Yeah.
got 6 correct.
So very good. Everybody is doing so well. It's very important to understand that Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to tell us how to be a devotee and tell us that the Harinam Sankirtan, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the best way to chant and go home. Okay, last question for today. What is the service that Srila Prabhupada got from his Guru? Spread the message of Krishna to the Western world. Be in Vrindavan and do temple worship. So what did Prabhupada do? Where did he come to preach? Yes, he came to the Western world. He took a ship called Jaladuta. He had many heart attacks in the ship, but he kept on going just because his guru gave him that instruction. Go preach to the English speaking or the Western world. And look where we are now. We won't be discussing this here if Prabhupada didn't come to the US and spread the message. And and he opened 108 temples in 10 years before he left the planet. He came when he was 70. He could have just been in Vrindavan focusing on the Lord, but he has so much mercy for everybody who's suffering in the Western world because everybody's focused on money, women, opposite gender or passionate things. But he came to the US and started the International Society for
Because
Krishna
that's what his guru said.
Yeah, so serving the Guru will give us power that's much greater. And you think a 70-year-old man can have temples all over the world and teach the whole world about Krishna? Only if you have Krishna's mercy, right? So when you follow your Guru's instructions, you will get power more than yourself. Just like Prabhupada did, he got the power from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and he, at his very frail old age, he made so many people understand about God. All right, so that concludes today's quiz. And the third place goes to Good Karma. Second place goes to Ayana. And first place goes to Ishwarji. So twice in a row, last year. Then comes Tarunji and Chaitra.
I got more than him. 16 out of 17. Ishwar got 15 out of 17.
Okay, it's depending on the speed also. How fast.
But I still got the most correct. Accuracy.
So all of you did great. You can all start annotating or whatever you want to do. But thank you so much for joining and giving your precious association, because like we discussed, that's the most important thing. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Thank you, everyone. So what do you want to cover from next class? We completed the 7 sessions of journey of self-discovery. So congratulations to the whole team. We have accomplished a lot thanks to Krishna's mercy.
I could X that out. Oh, I do not want any red. No green. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I want pink.
Thank you so much.
Who can see what your share here? Recording on.
Ayana, let others also cover.
Oh, wait, someone's writing in black. 8. No, that doesn't look good.
Krishna Krishna Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi.
Now everybody has a new board. Can everybody stop scribbling on the screen? Can you stop scribbling on the screen? Wait, don't scribble on the screen, everyone, okay? Give room to others drawing. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ishwarji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Nitinji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hey, Anna. Bye.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
How do you stop?
Hare.
Whoa, acha, look.